90,000 people at the Santiago Bernabéu went quiet. It was El Clásico, with the league title hanging in the balance. And Lionel Messi, Barcelona's right winger, had started to walk. He drifted away from the touchline, away from the forward line, into the space between Real Madrid's midfield and defense. For a moment, nothing happened. The center backs, Christoph Metzelder and Fabio Cannavaro, looked at each other. Who was supposed to follow him? Where was he going? There was no one left to mark. Then the geometry began to shift. As Messi received the ball, Xavi and Iniesta formed a triangle around him. Madrid's midfielders stepped up to press the ball, and their center backs hesitated, caught in no man's land. That hesitation was all it took. Thierry Henry, from the left, darted into the channel Cannavaro had just vacated. The pass was not magic. It was a simple consequence of a picture no one had seen before. The first pass invites the press. The second confirms it. The third, played into the space created, breaks the entire structure. Over and over, the trap was set, and over, Madrid fell into it. The final score was 6-2, a humiliation. Messi scored twice from his new false nine position. Xavi provided 4 assists. This was more than a victory. It was a lecture. Pep Guardiola, in his first season as a top-flight manager, had used the world's biggest stage to unveil a new way of thinking about space. And the football world would never be the same. This story matters because it isn't just about one tactical trick or one genius player. It is about a radical idea that 11 players can be taught to see the pitch as one, to move as a single organism, guided by shared principles of time and space. This is the heart of positional play. It is not a formation, it is a language. And Guardiola's life's work has been to teach his players to speak it fluently. The core promise of this language is simple. Your position makes your teammates' decision easy. You don't just occupy a space, you hold a lane to pin a defender. You offer an angle so the man on the ball is never trapped. You learn the pausa, the tiny, deliberate hesitation on the ball, not for flair, but to freeze an opponent for a split second, allowing a third player 2 passes away to run free. It turns football from a game of duels into a game of solutions. The ideas didn't begin with Guardiola the manager. They began with Guardiola the player, sitting at the base of Johan Cruyff's Barcelona dream team. Cruyff was the architect. His gospel was simple. If you have the ball, the opponent cannot score. But possession must have a purpose, to move the opponent, not just the ball. You create space by passing and moving in triangles. The whole system was built on the rondo, the simple training drill of players passing in a circle, trying to keep it from defenders in the middle. For Cruyff, the rondo was not a warm-up. It was the entire philosophy in miniature. One-touch passing, open body shape, constant awareness. And when you lose the ball, you are already in the perfect position to press and win it back immediately. This became Guardiola's famous 5-second rule, a furious, collective hunt to reclaim the ball before the opponent can even think. The attack and defense were not separate phases. They were 2 sides of the same coin, minted in the shape of a triangle. Guardiola took Cruyff's gospel and wrote a symphony with it. The 2008-09 Barcelona team was the ultimate proof. Every player understood his role within the structure. Wingers like Henry and Eto'o stayed wide, stretching the pitch to its limits. This created vast channels for the magicians in midfield, Xavi and Iniesta, to work in. And at the base of it all, a revelation, a slender 20-year-old promoted from the B team, Sergio Busquets. Busquets was the quiet genius, the master of 1 and 2 touches. In the 2009 Champions League final in Rome, against a ferocious Manchester United press, he never hid. He was always available, always turning away from pressure, always playing the simple, correct pass. The courage to demand the ball when surrounded is a technical skill, and that courage, repeated across the pitch, led to an unprecedented 6 trophies in a single year. The sextuple, a perfect season built on rondos writ large. When Guardiola arrived at Bayern Munich in 2013, he faced a new challenge. The Bundesliga was the kingdom of the counterattack, of fast vertical transitions. His possession-based style was seen as vulnerable, so he adapted the system to control the chaos. His solution was revolutionary. He asked his fullbacks, Philip Lahm and David Alaba, to stop overlapping on the outside and instead to step inside. By moving into midfield during possession, Bayern built a 2-3 or 3-2 shape at the back. This created numerical superiority in the center of the pitch, making it easier to bypass the first line of the press. But even more importantly, it provided a perfect rest defense. When Bayern lost the ball, they already had 5 players in central positions, ready to counter-press instantly. Philip Lahm, one of the most intelligent players of his generation, became the perfect inverted fullback, a central midfielder who started from a wide position. Then came Manchester City in the Premier League. Guardiola's first season was trophyless. The critics were loud. "This philosophy can't work here," they said. "It's too slow, too naive for the physicality of England." Defenders struggled to play out from the back. The team was punished on the counter. But Guardiola did not compromise. He doubled down. He didn't change the idea, he changed the personnel. He signed a goalkeeper, Ederson, with the passing range of a midfielder. He drilled his wingers, Sterling and Sané, to hold the width, to stay on the touchline and trust the plan. He taught his interior midfielders, De Bruyne and Silva, the rhythm of the third-man run. The result was the 2017-18 season. The Centurions. 100 points, a record. 106 goals scored. An exhibition of positional play that silenced every doubt. Controlling games from August to May with suffocating, beautiful precision. The system continued to evolve. The final masterpiece was the treble-winning machine of 2022-23. The problem to solve was elite European opponents in the Champions League, teams like Real Madrid who could create a goal from a moment of chaos. The answer was even more control, even more security. Guardiola built his team in possession around a 3-2-4-1 structure. But the 3 at the back was not 3 center backs. It was 2 plus a central defender who stepped up into midfield. That player was John Stones. He would start in defense, and as City built play, he would glide into the space next to Rodri. This box midfield gave City an unbreakable core. It allowed them to withstand pressure, recycle possession endlessly, and still have 5 players occupying the 5 attacking lanes ahead. It was the ultimate synthesis, the defensive security of the Bayern era combined with the attacking fluidity of the Barcelona years. The proof of this final form came on May 17, 2023, the Champions League semi-final second leg against Real Madrid, the Kings of Europe. At the Etihad, Madrid were not just beaten, they were suffocated. Ancelotti's team of legendary individuals were completely disarmed by Guardiola's collective. The 3-2-4-1 shape gave City an answer for everything. Madrid couldn't press them because they always had a spare man. They couldn't counter because the 3-2 rest defense was always in place. For 90 minutes, City controlled the time and the space. Every pass had a purpose. Every movement was coordinated. The 4-0 scoreline almost felt like a footnote. The real story was the helplessness of a great team against a perfect system. It was geometry defeating emotion, order defeating chaos. It was the ultimate expression of Guardiola's philosophy, perfected over 15 years of relentless innovation. From Barcelona to Munich to Manchester, a generation of footballers learned this new language. They learned the value of the pause, the importance of the third-man run, the courage to take the ball under pressure. The ideas spread far beyond his own teams. Inverted fullbacks are now commonplace. Goalkeepers are expected to be playmakers. Terms like half-space and rest defense have entered the global football lexicon. By the end of the 2024 season, Pep Guardiola had won 38 major trophies, an astonishing collection. But the numbers on a shelf are not the true legacy. The deeper victory is conceptual. He didn't just win games, he changed how games are understood. He gave players and coaches a new set of tools to see the pitch, not as a field for running, but as a grid of geometric possibilities. Positional play is more than a tactic. It is a way of seeing the beauty in football's hidden architecture. If you love stories about the ideas that shape the beautiful game, subscribe to Inkpitch. We believe the greatest legends are not just the players, but the philosophies they bring to life. Tap a like if you enjoyed this journey, and let us know in the comments which tactical revolution we should explore next. Thanks for watching.